Hey, how you going everyone? Welcome to another episode. Today we are doing talk tackle and we are focusing on fishing rods in this episode, and I'll be sharing with you some tips on what is good and what is not. Okay, so stay tuned. Now, if you guys do a lot of reef fishing or deep water fishing and you're into the market on buying a new fishing rod or looking into one, I suggest you give these jigging rods a try. Okay, they come in overheads or spins as well, but the jigging rods is the design of the blank that's the only difference. They are more parabolic, they're more soft, but yet they have a strong center here. But it can bend all the way up to here. The rods can bend pretty nicely, and that manner it doesn't give you a lot of back problems when you're out there. If you're ever wondering why you're getting a lot of back problems when you're pulling fish outside the reef or in deep water, it's because of your rod. Okay, these jigging rods, they all come in all various shapes and sizes. I reckon Shimano and Daiwa, those two popular ones, probably make the best ones, I reckon. But there are plenty of others as well. With this ever-evolving technology, these jigging rods, was never around a couple of years back. Now that they are, you guys should take advantage of these new rods. Shimano's blanks, they're called, these ones are Spiral X, I believe it is. Yeah. Yeah. Spiral, if you can see there, Spiral High Power X. That's their blank. You buy any fishing rod from Shimano, you want a good jigging rod that you can also use for bottom bashing or jigging. That's what I use. The Spiral X blanks are probably the best ones. Daiwa is called the 3DX, I think it is. Oh no, it's 3DX is part of their technology, but HVF Nano Plus, they call it. That's their blank with the added X45 and 3DX wrapping around their rods to strengthen. Very strong rod, but this one is $800 for the rod, $800 for the reel, and it's way too pricey for anyone. So I only got this because I was crazy about fishing and I wanted one, so I just went all out on it. But it will be a first and last time I'll ever buy it. If it does break, I'll probably never buy another one. This one here is obviously the Shimano's one that I was holding before. The rod type is Game Type J. They do a new one, a different jigging one as well. So the same blank, but it's called the Oshia. That's their Shimano's high end. Like Daiwa Saltiga is their high end brand, and Shimano's high end is Oshia. But this rod is called the Game Type J. It's the mid-range rods. Same blank, but mid-range. And it goes for about, if you look on eBay, it goes for about $380. Yeah, that's also good, mid-range. Now, what we have here is a cheaper alternative for you guys who can't afford those mid to high end ranges. Also a jigging rod. We buy, had a go on eBay. That's where they're from. It's called Tendency Tournament Power Design. You guys can see that. It's yeah, jigging casting. It's 80 to 160 grammer. Yeah. This one is probably a bit stiff for me, but it also loads pretty well. When you catch a fish, it bends quite nicely. Guess what? It was only $30. Now what you want when you're out fishing rod hunting, or you're looking to buy a fishing rod, you want a lot of these jigging rods are very light, okay? They only weigh a couple of 100 grams, you know, 160, 200 grams at the most. This Daiwa Saltiga is probably a little bit more. It's probably about 190 grams for the rod. The reel's really tanky, so it's about 400 grams. So all up, you're looking at about 600 grams for the whole setup. It's okay. You don't want a fishing rod combo which weighs close to the 1 kilo, because if it gets to there, oh my god, you know, when you fully deck it out with gear, line, braid and sinkers, it's really heavy and it can really take its toll on you when you're fishing. So a nice light and powerful setup is the way to go. Now this overhead Saltiga rod that I've got here is from Daiwa. It's a 3 to 4 PE weight. As you can see there, 3 to 4, as you can see. Very powerful. You know, there's no need to go overboard those really, you know, PE 6s and everything like that, because it's just extra weight and doesn't do much good. I use this one and I've never had problems pulling any big fish in, you know, whether it's, you know, shark or something else. Okay, this is a Shimano Game Type J1 as well. It's PE3. Also really good bottom bashing. Slightly softer than the Daiwa. Let me just give you a comparison of the older blanks. This is Shimano's older blanks. This is a Shimano T-Res, this one. And this is the new one with the Spyro X. You see the size? It's almost half. Yeah. Both the same weight pretty much. Give these jigging rods a try when you go to the tackle store, whether it's your local store or you buy on eBay. I bought these on eBay, it was cheaper, you know. So the local shops charge too much, an extra $100, so you just buy it on eBay. Now I used to have a Stella 12,000 model on this T-Res back then when I didn't know about it, and the Stella weighed like 800 grams, and this rod is pretty heavy too. You're looking at about 300 grams, and all up you're looking at about 1100 grams, so a bit over the kilo. And then once you spool it up with braid, lures, gears, sinkers, whatever, and then it becomes real heavy. And I never made full use of the Stella 1200. It's massive, and I ended up selling it. It was too heavy. I never used it. So keep that in mind, guys. Don't go, I reckon, personally, don't go wasting money on those big, heavy, bulky reels like Penn as well, you know. And Daiwa Saltiga, the spinning Saltiga dogfights, they're also real heavy. And unless you really like those heavy reels, you know, sure, you know, you can get it if you want. They're therefore chasing like big tunas, 50 to 100 kilo tunas. You're gonna need something like that. But if you're just bottom bashing around with coral trout, the good old red emperors, you know, and all that stuff, yeah, you don't need those gear, man. You just need this light and powerful rods. It'll make your day out on the reef more enjoyable. You can enjoy more fishing time than busting your back off hard work. So here's a good example of one of the recent trips we had. You can see this footage on episode 10. You can see here the fishing rod has a really nice parabolic curve when the skipper is pulling the fish in. This is the sort of curve you want when you want to be pulling those fish in. So it bends really close to the handle, as you can see. This way it causes less strain on your back and makes reeling up the fish far more easier. Most good jigging rods will bend like this nature, and that's what you want. If you don't buy a jigging rod, they don't bend like this, and I can assure you, you're gonna kill your back by the end of the day. Also, this rod you see here is one of those cheap eBay rods, one of the $30 ones. So they work fantastically. And obviously, of course, the last and the most important tip is to never high stick your rods. Okay, these are jigging rods, so they're not used to being high stick. So if you high stick it, it's gonna snap. All right. So the idea is to just hold it up towards the horizon, pull as much as high as that's probably a recommended height, and then reel back down. Don't high stick it. You high stick it and the rod breaks, that's on you. Don't say I didn't tell ya. So there you have it, guys. Hope you guys enjoy the video, short one. Hope that give you some insight on your next rod purchase. Give those jigging rods a look at, because it was a good decision, the best decision I've ever made. And yeah, I want you guys to give them a shot. They won't disappoint, I can promise you that. Yeah, as always, like and subscribe, leave a comment down below, and happy fishing. See you in the next video. Bye bye.